Thank you very much, Lord Provost. And colleagues, I rise today in support of strengthening our strategic communications, I think, for the benefit of this Council and for the benefit of our citizens. Within our amendment, we're looking at strengthening communications, strengthening the performance management framework to ensure that we're improving the strategic relationship between councillors and officers, and ultimately, we hope and believe, improving the service for the good people of Aberdeen who we serve. And our amendment, Lord Provost, is sadly born out of concern. On several occasions, matters of significant importance to our city and significant ward matters have come to our attention through the media or from constituent inquiries. Two recent and notable examples, as I've included in the amendment, are over the financial concerns of Resident X and over the closure of the Naze Energy for Waste plant. Unfortunately, Lord Provost, this is a troubling matter for us, as we believe that only with proper communication with elected members can we have a positive working relationship and be able to communicate effectively with our constituents. There's a big difference in someone coming to me, as they did with Naze Energy for Waste, and asking me what is happening. I have to tell them that I don't know what is happening. I've only read the media reports. So it puts me, it puts the Council on a back foot, and we should be looking at improving our strategic communications to improve that. If councillors and elected members are not aware of critical developments, we're not able to advise constituents what is happening, what the proactive response is. We are put in a position of having to say that we are disappointed that we have not been advised of this and asking critical questions of the Council. I would rather not be in that position, Lord Provost. And more than a communications failure, Lord Provost, it represents in our mind, and I believe in other members of the opposition's mind, a strategic risk to the Council. If we're to make sound decisions, as the report notes, we must be equipped fully with information and intelligence. The report itself states on page 2 that members require information to make strategic and policy decisions, and to be assured that decisions are being implemented effectively, and to know that performance and outcomes are improving. That involves a two-way relationship between councillors and officers. As I say, Lord Provost, there's been a number of examples. For example, I was reminded this morning of when the bus gate was changed on Union Terrace to turn right, for example. That went to the media first. It didn't go to elected members. And yes, I think sometimes elected members' language needs to change and improve when dealing with officers. But we also need to have that strategic communications going both ways. So when there is a matter of significant importance in our city, but also locally within wards, that we have that information to be able to say what is happening and how it is going to be changed. Because I repeat, Lord Provost, otherwise we are saying we are disappointed, we cannot know what is happening for the Council, and that is a strategic risk for our Council, and it does not help with the relationship between officers and elected members. Therefore, our amendment, Lord Provost, instructs the Chief Officer Governance to revise the delegated powers to officers, specifically requiring that where there is a major operational impact is identified or a legal dispute involving the Council arises that is likely to attract media attention or affect the Council's reputation, that there is notification to group leaders, independent members and affected ward members. Because when I flagged this previously over Naze Energy for Waste plant, I was told that it was an operational matter and they wouldn't normally advise elected members. That is fine, and I can see that argument, but when I followed up and said, well, this is clearly a strategic issue because it is now in the media, we're now getting questions and queries about it. If we'd been notified in advance of this, we would be in a better position to deal with it. We were told that's not our normal practice. But just because it is a standard practice doesn't mean it should be the current practice, and that's why we're moving this amendment to strengthen the position. And we're also dealing with the issue of where there's potential uncertainty over whether an issue should be notified to group leaders, independent members and affected ward members. that officers would be able to escalate this to the Chief Executive, who would be able to make a strategic leadership decision on this, also that we can be better informed as elected members and better essentially protect, I guess, the Council from the blowback which we have seen on Energy for Waste, where it has been in the media, and elected members have had to say that we have not been advised of this, and that, yes, we are also getting that information from the media. It seems like a straightforward point to me, Lord Provost, and one that I would have hoped would have been supported by other elected members, given the impact on us and the impact on the Council and the perception of the Council. And Lord Provost, I would reiterate, this isn't about micromanagement. It's about ensuring elected members have the information so that we can do our jobs, but also so that there's not so much blowback on Council. There's a huge difference to being able to be saying we've been advised about something, matters are in hand, and it is being fixed, rather than saying, well, I don't know anything about that because no one has told me, I'm very disappointed and I'm going to have to go back to Council and ask for this. So, Lord Provost, we want to see the Chief Officer Data and Insights come back to this chamber within one cycle with a revised performance management framework to strengthen this communications, strengthen it for our benefit, strengthen it for the benefit and betterment of the relationship between officers and elected members, and ultimately benefit the citizens of our city who we are here to serve. Lord Provost, I would encourage members to engage with this amendment and support it. Lord Provost.
Thank you, Councillor